Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And yes, it is the final stage of Paris-Nice. Apologies for yesterday. That was a bit of shambles for me. I got the times wrong. I thought we were starting the same time as we've been doing all the previous days. But nevertheless, Paris-Nice, final stage, Nice to Nice, finishing on the beautiful, the beautiful, iconic place we've seen so many times before. Last year, finishing in finishing with Simon Yates taking the victory, and this year potentially we could see Tadej Pogacar winning here. We don't know. That's the interesting part of this as well. We've got 64.9 kilometers, and the peloton are all together. And right now we have got the what shall we say the confirmation that one of the categories have been settled if the rider does finish the race, and that is Jonas Gregor, not Jonas Vingegaard, but Gregor for Uno X Pro Cycling, who you will recall has been in the breakaway chasing these Mountains Jersey points. And very good to see Uno X potentially sealing this classification. He hasn't sealed it until he crosses the finish line, obviously. But 5 points on on the second categorized climb. And I mean, this is quite comforting for him as well, because then he doesn't need to make sure that a certain Tadej Pogacar doesn't snatch it away from him. So I think it's a very good position to be in terms of being him, that he hasn't got this added pressure of the GC battle that will feature later in the race. But as things stand, we still have a very calm stage, like we saw on when was it, Thursday, when we last have a stream, because of me messing up the schedule yesterday, and then Friday obviously the stage got cancelled. But it is going to be a fascinating, interesting finish to the race. We have a bit of a group trying to go up the road now, so they've got about a 3-second gap here, this group, and I'm not quite sure. Pro Cycling Stats is not sure either who's in this group. But it is one of those stages where we can see a lot of craziness happening. I recall the one, I think it was 2017, where Alberto Contador was frantically trying to win, and then Sergio Henao managed to take the victory. Was it 2017? Am I getting the years mixed up? But this is like one of the best stages in terms of craziness, because it's not an all-out alpine climb, for instance. It is this rolling terrain, and then you finish with the iconic Col d'Ez climb, which is such a great climb. But I mean, is Paris-Nice over? I don't think it is. There's still room for error for Tadej Pogacar here. He's not it's not like he's winning this by 5 minutes. Yesterday he was supreme. He was definitely in control, but he's only 12 seconds ahead of David Gaudu. That's not a lot of time in any sort of race. So 12 seconds in a GC advantage. So that it could be quite interesting. And in terms of closest margins that we've had lately, I'll try and find that as well to see if this would be anywhere near the closest margin. But youngest winner we're looking for, but we're getting plenty of splinters here. We're coming towards the next categorized climb, which is a 6.6 kilometer climb, another one to soften up the peloton, if you will. But can they isolate? Who is this? I think David Gaudu only has one teammate. But who have they got? So Traknek has been sent up the road. Yeah, apologies. They're not really giving us the details here, but we have got Traknek up in this group. Are we going to see potentially like Jonas Vingegaard launching a move 40k from the finish? We haven't really seen him do that ever. But in this group, we've got the front group right now. We've got Jan Tratnik, Lucas Hamilton, Stefan Kung, Oliver Nassen, and Clément Champignon from IKEA Samsic. And I mean, this group is a fairly strong one, but you would think that this is more of a potentially teammates being used later on. Because Simon Yates, Lucas Hamilton, that is a very strong teammate to let up the road. Oh my goodness, there was a car car on the road. Oh, we've seen this already. This Paris-Nice, but oh my goodness, that is incredible. A car on the road, so that means the police haven't done their job there. What is going on there? But I'll try and get the image on so we can see that. But absolutely crazy. But yeah, that craziness aside, we have got still 60 kilometers to go. Jan Tratnik is leading the breakaway group here. And yeah, what is Tratnik's role here? Are we going to see potentially Jonas Vingegaard jump, try and get an advantage here? He's 58 seconds down, so there's a lot of work to do for Vingegaard if he's going to do something here. Car doing on the road. Just tweeting about the car because I think that is absolutely appalling that we have a car on the road in Paris-Nice. Yeah. What is going on? That is absolutely crazy. But yeah. There's plenty of climbing still to go. We've got plenty of numerous categorized climbs on the route, so there's ample opportunity for anyone to do anything in this race. And I think the 12-second advantage, we have 2 categorized climbs still to go. We're coming up to the top of Col d'Aise, then going back down, and then we come to the Col d'Aise, the final one. But we have the Côte de Penil, 6.6 kilometers and 6.8%, which, yeah, it has the hardest section is between kilometer 2 and kilometer 3, where it goes up to 8.9%. So it could definitely be a savage climb, to say the least. That, yeah. But we await that. 15 seconds now. This breakaway group have built up on the yellow jersey group, or the peloton. And yeah, UAE, are they going to be in control of this? But yeah, Matteo Jorgensen, which is, yeah, it's the American version. He's wearing the white jersey courtesy of Tadej Pogacar not being able to wear 2 jerseys. And the American, yeah, he's very far in that classification. It's not like he's going to be taking that away from Tadej Pogacar. But yeah, this group, Lucas Hamilton, teammate of Simon Yates, so that could be a reason. Stefan Kung, teammate of David Gaudu. Jan Tratnik, teammate of Jonas Vingegaard. So all these 3 riders could be up here for a different motive rather than whatever. Yeah, I think it's quite good to send teammates up the road. It's a tactic we've seen a lot in the past. UAE do it a lot. We saw it last year with Wout van Aert, where they sent him up in the break and then they had him later on in the race. But it's a warm day in Nice, not a warm day here in England, but 17 degrees. And yeah, the Côte de Penil is the next one. And riders with the most KOM sprints in Paris-Nice since 2005, number 1, courtesy of Pro Cycling Stats, is Thomas de Gendt. Who would have thought? Tommy Voeckler, second with 13. But yeah, Gregor having 11 now. So Gregor has put himself firmly in that list. And maybe he'll come back. I think this is going to be the biggest performance from Gregor, biggest achievement in his career so far. We spoke about it on other streams of Paris-Nice, but he's kind of hovered here. He's been touted as a talent in Denmark, and that's the reason he was riding for Astana, but never really clicked with Astana. It didn't really. I think maybe he was more in the domestique role than anything else. But yeah, what can you say? Like, he's here at Uno X now. He's gonna be potentially, I think, the first Dane to win this jersey. But yeah, I'm not quite sure about, because we don't have this lovely stat that we would have for winners. We no one really cares about the polka dot jersey in Paris-Nice historically. It's not a jersey people go back and go, oh yeah, that jersey. But yeah, we have had Thomas de Gendt win here, as we spoke about before. But 42 seconds now. This group of 5 have or 6. Is it 6? 1, 2, 3. No, it's 5. Yeah, 5 riders up the front. They've built up the lead now, and this could be very interesting what the purpose of this group is. But yeah, Paris-Nice, so many historic winners that Tadej Pogacar will add his name to. He's going to be the first ever Slovenian to win this race. Oh no, that's not true. We had a Slovenian last year. Second ever Slovenian to win this race, and the first one being last year with Primož Roglic. But who's going to be joining him on the podium? We haven't had a Dane on the podium in terms of Jonas Vingegaard. I'm not sure we've had a Dane on the podium now. Yeah, I think Jonas Vingegaard is going to be the first ever Dane to get on the podium at Paris-Nice. That's quite interesting. Yeah, no Bjarne Riis, no... Yeah, well, who else? No Jakob Fuglsang. Yeah, first ever Dane to be on a podium. So, I mean, that's not a bad achievement either. But it does look like he might not be on 100% compared to... yeah. To Jonas Vingegaard... to Tadej Pogacar. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. 54.9 kilometers, 45 seconds still of a lead. Tadej Pogacar is up near the front as they just head over a speed bump, but it is very firmly UAE Team Emirates who are now controlling affairs with Matteo Trentin, the former European champion. And a very nice guy. I actually met him last year at Paris-Nice. He abandoned, unfortunately, but then he was in a cafe in Menton, which is a little village or little town up the road. And yeah, we're seeing an attack here. Wout Poels is lifting the pace here. He's attacking. So Wout Poels is attacking now. So this is quite interesting. Are we going to see Wout Poels and Bahrain Victorious do something here? What is this move about? He does live around this area, so he does know what the road looks like. That's not going to be the big surprise. We have 2 non-starters as well today. Jason Osborne from Alpecin-Deceuninck, the German rider, and Tim Merlier from, we all know, Soudal Quickstep, the winner of, was it one stage? Yeah, one stage, I think. But yeah, stage 7 yesterday, as we know, Tadej Pogacar took the victory ahead of David Gaudu and then Jonas Vingegaard in 3rd, Simon Yates in 4th, Nilsson Paulus in 5th, Gino Merda in 6th, so it could be Gino Merda they're thinking about for in terms of Wout Poels. They also have Jack Haig up here, sort of. But Gino Merda is in 5th, Simon Yates in 4th, so Simon Yates winning the stage last year and crawling onto the podium. Doesn't look like he's going to be on the podium as it stands right now. Matteo Jorgensen is in 8th place. Sivakov moved up 10 places yesterday to 9th, so I think he's actually the best Ineos Grenadiers card that we have here. Danny Martinez not doing great, but we also remember those 45 seconds that they lost to Jumbo-Visma. So if he hadn't lost those 45 seconds, okay, maybe he would be a bit closer to Romain Bardet. But Romain Bardet is sitting in 7th. Nilsson Paulus moving up into 6th yesterday. But yeah, at the front of affairs, we still have 42 seconds to this 5-man group made up of plenty of, GC riders' teammates. And Oliver Nassen, I'm not quite sure why he's here. I think he might just be riding for some form or for Oliane Panepantre, the French rider. Best French rider is obviously David Gaudu right now. And I mean, it is very interesting to see if he can actually do something here. Kevin Vukla going out the back, unfortunately, 1-1-1. Such a strong performance on the uphill. But yeah, he's going out the back. 7 minutes and 24 seconds down on GC. But it's not his day today. You would have thought this kind of a day would suit him. A bit more of a rolling terrain. But 143 is going out the back as well here. So a lot of struggling here. So yeah, a lot of people feeling the pressure that Kasper Asgreen struggling. But the thing with Paris-Nice, where it sits, a lot of these riders are not here in Paris-Nice to try and win Paris-Nice. They're here to tune up for the classics. So that's why the field is full with classics riders, and that might be one of the reasons why we're seeing Oliver Nassen go up the front right now. So it's interesting, but UAE Team Emirates don't want to let Wout Poels go. Wout Poels apparently has 30 seconds already, so that's quite an effort that he's put in. But yeah, UAE Team Emirates, they've got two riders in front. Well, one of them, Matteo Trentin, but Jonas Gregor going out the back. Mission complete for Gregor. He just needs to finish. And yeah. It should be a interesting. It will be a very high achievement for him. And yeah, we'll hopefully get our first ever Dane on the podium in terms of the GC, and then Jonas Gregor will be I think the first ever Dane to win the polka dot jersey. But again, I don't really have the historical data, and I don't really want to siphon through pro cycling stats for eternity. But I'll try and see. They must have a Wikipedia page for this. Mountains classification. You would think so, but they have it for everything else almost. But Astana, one of their men getting brought back here, not really being to. I think this might be David de la Cruz if he's in the race. It looks like David de la Cruz, former winner of this stage in previous editions, but yeah, I don't think he's had a great time here. Yeah, I'm trying to. There's nothing. Paris-Nice, it's very bare. The Wikipedia for, well, it's not bare. It's got the best winners, the winners of the yellow jersey, obviously. But yeah, if you thought that Tadej Pogacar was going to be the youngest winner, you will be incorrect. There has actually been winners all the way down to 21, and the oldest winner was none other than Raymond Poulidor in 1973, 37 years old. But yeah, obviously France holds the record for the most winners per nation, which, I mean, it is closing. But Tadej Pogacar, they're going to have two now, so they're going to equal. Slovenia is going to equal Australia, Kazakhstan, and USA for the most wins with 2 victories, and that could potentially go up as well. But 52.9 kilometers left here, 35 seconds from the yellow jersey group to the front 5, and somewhere in between there is a Wout Pool. So yeah, but it is going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Still, yeah, UAE, I think it's Tim Wellens now who's taking over duties, and then Felix Groschatner. So 2 of the new boys that they brought in. And yeah, such good signings here. UAE Team Emirates really trying to strengthen their team overall to try and match the incredible all-roundness that we've seen from, that's not a word, the strength, let's go with that word, of Jumbo-Visma that we've seen. And Jan Tratnik, one of their new signings in terms of Jumbo here in the front. I think Jan Tratnik has been such a staple rider in terms of well, he's been on the channel as well when he rode for Bahrain. And yeah, I think this move to Jumbo-Visma, we've already seen him plenty of times in the classics or in the front of a peloton here. But yeah, Fred Wright going out the back. Bahrain, unfortunately, not really that fruitful of a Paris-Nice. But Fred Wright, so much expectation on this young man's shoulder. He's a very nice guy. Met him last year. Didn't want to talk about the Roglic situation, which I completely understand. That completely out of proportion response, and for such a young rider to kind of be in the center of such a mess is not fair on him. But Lilian Camajan out the back here, number 19 in terms of GC, 8 minutes and 52 seconds down, so we're not going to be seeing him. You would have thought he would have been up there in the breakaway, but probably not feeling great. 27 seconds now, being led by Lucas Hamilton, the front break. And yeah, Clément Championson, that is an interesting move. A lot of people have been talking his chances up, his potential of a GC rider, but 52.3 kilometers. They're just looking around there on this penultimate Cascarois climb of the 2023 Paris-Nice. And Wout Poels is joining them now. So Wout Poels has just joined them. So that is a good ride from the Bahrain veteran here. So a group of 5 becomes 6. And I must admit that I don't really understand the move. Is he thinking of a stage victory, 52 kilometers out, 3.6 kilometers? I mean, it is the kind of race where stage where it can just, if it's not controlled properly, the breakaway can be up the road and just, yeah. But Oliver Naesen up here, and don't kid yourself. Oliver Naesen is not here for winning the stage. Watch him win the stage now, but he's here because he is training for the classics, no doubt. I am not even gonna speculate too much about that, but no, not really any teammates in GC classic contention. But Stefan Kung is also here for tune-up training as well. Julian Bernard is going out the back here. 44 in GC, so not really anything of note. But yeah, it's slowly riders are starting to drop off the back here. The pressure being put on by Tim Wellens. We're also seeing the Niels Pollard. I thought that might have been Matteo Jorgensen going out the back, but no, it's not. It's the German who is on. He's on the hot seat, if you will, of getting dropped. It's never nice. Yeah, he's just lost contact here. It's never nice when you're in a group and the pace is too high and you just see them sail away and you're like, oh, could I have pushed more? But yeah. But in front here, it looks like Wout Poels. Is this Wout Poels? Yeah, Wout Poels. Wout Poels has attacked. Wout Poels has attacked the group that he just joined moments ago. And I mean, that's not a very nice, just get to the group and then attack off the front and drop them all. He is a better climber of all of them, you have to say. He's a former top 10 finisher, the wingman of Chris Froome back in the day. So, yeah, there's no surprise that he's distancing everyone here. But Oliver Naesen desperately trying to cling on to the Dutchman. It's not going to happen. But, yeah. Great to have almost 30 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button. Get involved in the chat as well. Haven't got Ewan. Ewan's stuck in Manchester, so yeah, might get him back in the recap. But yeah, Wout Poels really pushing on here, trying to get rid of Oliver Naesen completely. Oliver Naesen is just about in the picture with him, but yeah, is this the wisest move? You're on your own, 51 kilometers. It's not exactly like. Yeah, if you could have had, like, in this position, I would have probably, you've got 2.5 kilometers to the top of the climb. If you just went with Oliver Naesen, then at least there's two riders. And it's such a difference, you'll know, riding with someone else. You can share the work, you save about 30% effort by being in their wheel. So, but yeah, who knows? Maybe Wout Poels just wants to completely just, I don't know. Who knows? But out the back, Jonathan Narvaez, the Ecuadorian, he hasn't really done too much. Yeah, Ineos Grenadiers has not been a Paris-Nice to remember for them. Not a great addition. But 205, Israel Premier Tech is the next rider to potentially go out the back. And yeah, Wout Poels, what is he doing here? He looks comfortable. It doesn't look too agitated. How good is his form? Yeah, we could actually look at that. Let's have a delve of Wout Poels 2023 and see how he's been doing. But Wout Poels, I've always liked Wout Poels ever since he took the sunglasses of one of the fans in the Giro who ran a bit too close and flung it down the mountain when he was riding for Omega Pharma Quickstep. But yeah, in terms of this season, he finished 6th in the UAE Tour, so I mean that would suggest that he's got some good form. And then here he's sitting in 26th, so I mean, not great to be honest, but maybe he was working for Jack Haig or someone else. But yeah, 1.9 kilometers for Wout Poels now to the front. And yeah, his main goal this year, he's going to go to Vuelta a Catalunya, and it says also he's going to be heading towards the Tour de France once again. Bahrain, in terms of their ambitions this year in the Tour, they didn't have a great Tour last year. It looks like they're going to be sending Landa and Bilbao to the Tour. So that strong double act that we've seen, potentially they're going to do something at the Tour. But they're also sending Fred Wright and Matej Mohoric. That's a bit strange if they're going to try and contend for stages. But yeah, at the front of the peloton, we have got Tim Wellens still guiding them up here. Tim Wellens, who's been one of the signings of the year, I would say. And yeah, behind him, we've got Felix Großschartner, and then we've got Tadej Pogacar. Tadej Pogacar is on his wheel. He's got David Gaudu. Lord knows where we've got Jonas Vingegaard. as we've kind of seen on the Paris-Nice this year, Jonas Vingegaard has been very isolated compared to Tadej Pogacar, and bit of a shame. And I think they sent the wrong people to the wrong race. But Roglic has been dominating in Tirreno Adriatico, so I mean Jumbo-Visma is still going to be cleaning up this week anyway, with Roglic taking 3 victories in a row. Olaf Koy winning a stage as well, and team time trial with Jonas Vingegaard getting hopefully a podium for him. But 1.2 kilometers, 36 seconds here. But yeah, 49.6 kilometers to the top, and it is a very beautiful sight here. Closing in on Nice. Nice is such a beautiful city. I can't not say good things about it. I can say a lot of bad things about Monaco, but I won't. But yeah, it's interesting here. We are getting ever closer. We still haven't had the fireworks. Wout Poels is the only real big action right now in terms of potential shakeups. He's 1 kilometer from the summit now, inside 1 kilometer from the summit of the penultimate climb. Remember, we have one more climb today. That is Col d'Ez. And yeah, there's also been one tragic. Yeah, Rob Hatch just said it on GCN. The Kazakhstani rider from Cofidis who died exactly 20 years ago to the day, and is the reason why that the professional peloton started wearing helmets. That was in Paris-Nice. Very tragic incident, and yeah, may he rest in peace. But Clermont Championson is the rider who's going to be caught now, the RKS Samsic rider that we didn't really know why he was up there, but he couldn't follow the pace of the breakaway. That surged increase by Wout Poels, but 32 seconds now is the damage limited by the UAE team here, and Tim Wellens is doing a sterling effort here at the front of the race, just to kind of control it, so not too bothered about it. We've also got Matteo Jorgensen, the movie star, right up here, but I think we've got Jonas Vingegaard very isolated here. He's not got any riders around him, so yeah, this is not good for Jumbo-Visma and Jonas Vingegaard. But I mean, he's also really far down in the field. If I was him, I'd be on the wheel of David Gaudu or whatever. But like, it's not great. I must admit, not great, Jonas Vingegaard. But 48.8 kilometers, 36 seconds, 270 meters for Wout Poels to the top. So he's going to win the Mantas classification, not outright, but he's going to take the points. Very, well, what should we say? Pointless points here, because Jonas Vingegaard has wrapped up that classification earlier this day. So yeah, Wout Poels, maybe there's a bit of cash prize. He's not thinking of that. He's thinking of, well, we think he's thinking of the stage victory here. And maybe he was thinking that if he gets to the top, there's a fairly easy route down, and that will be easy for him to capitalize and stay away and build up a healthy advantage. And the rolling terrain means that it's a bit harder to control for the peloton. So I think his thinking is that they will maybe look at each other too much, but he's going to go all out. 40 seconds though, UAE team members are not letting it go. So it's not like he's got a huge advantage. So it will be fascinating to see if we get any reactions from Tadej Pogacar, David Gaudu, or Jonas Vingegaard. Remember, he only has 12 seconds down to David Gaudu, so any mistake and David Gaudu could be our winner of Paris-Nice. So yeah, think about that. Any mistake by the UAE team and Tadej Pogacar, and that could be it. Remember, Tadej Pogacar and David Gaudu and Vingegaard, they have a teammate up the road as well. So that is an interesting factor potentially. It says that the Tragny group are about 5 seconds behind Wout Poels, but yeah, at least Jonas Vingegaard has one more domestique. He's very isolated in the group right now. And one of the things I was speculating about, when's the last time we had a French winner of Paris-Nice? Oof. Oh, 1997. That is the last time we had a French winner of the race. That is incredible. That is a long time ago. 1997. So, yeah, and in terms of podium, it's also been quite a long time since we had a. I'm just gonna try and write that down later for the recap. But yeah, in terms of the last French rider to finish on the podium as well, that is uh, Ante Vichot back in 2014. So, I mean, it will be a very good result, this, for David Gaudu, nevertheless. But yeah, Vingegaard, first ever Dane to finish on a Paris-Nice podium. And David Gaudu, he'll be the first rider since 2014 for the French riders. So, and then Tadej Pogacar, obviously, actually being the first UAE Team Emirates the first time UAE or Lampre have won this race. So records everywhere for this victory. It's not like if Geraint Thomas won this race where nothing really would have changed. He won it back in 2016. But Tim Wellens still driving this pace quite hard. They've got 41 seconds now, 46 kilometers to the finish in Nice. A lot can still change here. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's joining. Make sure to get involved in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and plenty of more racing content and stuff still to come on the Cycling Day and Extra. And yeah, Paris-Nice finishing today. Tirreno Adriatico finishing today as well. And great to have you here, Glasses from Georgia. But yeah, I mean, well, speaking of Americans, it seems like this next American generation is coming. It is coming. This next golden generation. We speak about the Danish golden generation, which is clearly now. The Slovenian golden generation, which is also now. The British one is coming, but like I would say that the American one is coming. It is on the cusp of happening. But yeah, Tim Wellens is still driving the pace here, 33 seconds now. So it's not, yeah. Wout Poels, I'm not sure that this. Well, I think actually, to be fair to him, I think it's the perfect time for him to attack because he needs that advantage because he can't keep an acceleration of Vingegaard or Jonas Vingegaard, and the terrain is not too difficult to potentially it's not like it's the Col de Turini that they're finishing on. So it should be a good race. It could really blow up in UAE's face if they aren't careful. But it looks like they have just caught the other breakaway. So the remnants of the breakaway, the early breakaway, excluding Wout Poels, are just in the process of getting swept out by UAE Team Emirates and the very, very heavily reduced group here that we have from the peloton. But Wout Poels, he knows these roads. He lives close to here, so he's just driving around. He probably thought about this stage for a long time, training around these roads. 30 seconds now. Yeah, it's touch and go. Remember, we're not in a classic. There's not that hard of a terrain. 28 seconds now. So I mean, he has to just dig deep here. I don't think he's going to be holding it all the way to the finish. But what better way to figure out if he's going to hold it to the finish than do a quiz? Not a quiz, a poll. So 88% of you believe that Tadej Pogacar is going to win the overall at Paris-Nice. So none of you think that he's going to UAE Team Emirates are going to bottle it today. But 12% still believing it. I think I was part of the 12. I want the chaos. I want to see the chaos. I'll just say, will Wout Poels win the stage? Poels win the stage because he's out there, and UAE Team Emirates are definitely not wanting him to win this. I think maybe with Tadej Pogacar wants more victories, courtesy of seeing Primož Roglic, his other rival. So he's got two rivals. He's got Jonas Vingegaard, and then he's got Primož Roglic, as we know. But I'm just thinking, has he got the green jersey? Because if he has the green jersey, then he has got the green jersey. So it's not like that's gonna change hands. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna win the points and the points, and here we go. Olaf Koy is the rider that could have been challenging Tadej Pogacar, but obviously that's not happening. So Pogacar is going to be winning the points classification, and as he always does, he picks up jerseys all the time. He's going to win the youth jersey, the green jersey, and the GC. So quite an incredible achievement from him, just showing his incredible achievement. He's just fantastic rider, as we know. And UATM Emirates, they have one more. I mean, you might as well. You've got one more stage left. This is the final stage. Just put it all on the road. It's training. Are we going to see Tadej Pogacar just attack from a long way out? Is he just going to put his stamp on this race? Who knows? It's all speculation. 42.5 kilometers. Still a lot of potential that could happen here, but they're about 400 meters behind Wout Poels at this moment. So, I mean, I must admit, I'm not thinking that is going to be a Wout Poels day. I don't think many of you guys are thinking it as well. Actually, 100% of you. Only 2 people voted. I'll vote as well. I'll say yes. So I'm giving Wout Poels a chance. Pretty sure not many people are giving him a chance here, but 42 kilometers, 29 seconds. So it's hovering around the 29, 32 seconds. But Tim Wellens is still at the front. He's putting in a sterling effort just to keep the pressure on. But Groupama FDJ have plenty of riders here, and obviously when they've dragged back that break, they got joined by one more rider, Stefan Kung. So yeah, they've got 4 riders, and one of them obviously being David Gaudu. So much more abundant in teammates than what we've seen with Jumbo-Visma, who are looking like a frail tribute to themselves. But Jonas Vingegaard got an interview. Jonas said he was being more tactical yesterday, more calculated. He didn't want to explode like he did the other day. So who knows, really? We'll have to wait and see if he can capitalize on something here. But 88% of you believe it's going to be overall Tadej Pogacar victory. I mean, yeah, you can't see him not doing this. I mean, he's winning the points, he's winning the youth, he's winning, all over the place. But great to have almost 40 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Cycling Dane Extra channel if you haven't already. I'm sure you've all done that. But we are, just a reminder, 8th stage of Paris-Nice, a quite interesting edition. The clash of the titans with Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar, and then seeing the emergence of David Gaudu. Really, we know David Gaudu has finished 4th in the past in the Tour de France last year, former winner of the Tour de l'Avenir. Obviously, being French and winning the Tour de l'Avenir, you have a massive hype and expectation on your shoulders. But can he do something here? First ever French rider on the podium since 2014. And in terms of finishing higher, so Sandy Cassar is the last rider to finish 2nd. So he would be the highest finishing French rider since Sandy Cassar back in 2002. So that's another stat I'm going to put down. But why is that? That is probably the question. We've had Thibaut Pinot, we have Romain Bardet, but they're probably not the best 1-week stage races. And I mean, I say that Romain Bardet won the Tour of the Alps a few years last year, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, it's also the time, the calendar, where it is. Like if you're prepping for the Tour de France, like not a lot of riders who win this race go on to win the Tour de France. Obviously, there is exceptions. Alberto Contador. Well, actually, technically not Well, actually, no. 2007, Alberto Contador. Floyd Landis. It's weird to see his name on the list as well. Well, you could say that about Bobby Julich, Alexander Vinokourov, Mikhail Bergerdo. Van Wangenbroek. Yeah, I mean, but Egan Bernal, he won the Paris-Nice and the Tour de France, but that I mean, I never feel like Egan Bernal was the strongest rider in that race. That was definitely Thibaut Pinot. I am sorry, but it was. And then he was just injured or whatever, and that led to him falling out the race. Marc Soler's won it. Equally, again, not won the Tour de France. Sergio now nowhere near winning the Tour de France. Geraint Thomas back in 2016 didn't go on to win the Tour de France. Richie Porte never. Yeah, exactly. So you see what I mean? Bradley Wiggins 2012. Yes, he did win it. So the exception, there's always. It's not like it's a guarantee this race because where they're sitting in the calendar. So 37.8 kilometers, 26 seconds. So they haven't taken too much out, but I mean, they have plenty of road, and they've also got Felix Groschak now that they haven't used completely. So yeah, but Tim Wellens just really pumping out the watts here, and the peloton have been reduced down into a very select little group. But it is really Wout Poels versus the peloton, or versus UAE Team Emirates. So it's a Middle Eastern team versus Middle Eastern team in this weird connotation. But will Wout Poels win the stage? 45% of you have said yes, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, I didn't think there would be that much support. So there's more support for this than Tadej Pogacar actually winning, losing the Pyrenees today. 23 seconds now. It's coming down now. He's coming up to the sprint here in Ez, the village of Ez, the top of Col d'Ez. Then they come back down, and it should be interesting. But I mean, yeah, it's Paris-Nice, and the relationship with the Tour de France it's the calendar, because like we've had plenty of other Colombians. Sergio now, as we said, he was nowhere near in the Tour de France. Carlos Betancourt, remember him? Again, nowhere near. Tony Martins won this race back in 2011. Nowhere near winning the Tour de France. So Maximilian Schachmann, 2 times winner of this race. Obviously, there's 2 asterisks to put on here. Equally, Primož Roglic didn't win the Tour de France last year. So, yeah, it's almost a curse to win this rather than... I think the exceptions have been Egan Bernal, Bradley Wiggins, Contador back in 2007. But again, Bradley Wiggins was probably the only one who has won this as an out-and-out favourite for the Tour later on. Eddie Merckx has obviously won this. Romain Poulidor never won the Tour de France, has won this as well. Freddie Martins went on to dominate that year's Vuelta a España. Tom Simpson has won it as well. Jack Anquetil, huge legend of the sport. So, yeah, I don't know what the point was. The point was, it's not always guaranteed. Miguel Indurain has won this as well. So that, yeah. But in terms of the last 23 years, okay, let's say 10 years. So we exclude let's say the interesting results out. It is the Bradley Wiggins, the Egan Bernal, and that's it, really. And Contador in 2007. But the 2007 Tour de France was a bit of a... Yeah. So 25 seconds here for Wout Poels, and the beautiful city of Nice is where we're going to be heading to. Absolutely beautiful city. I would implore you to go to Nice. I am such a huge fan. But now we're seeing Groupama FDJ come to the front. Stefan Kung, the rider that they had up in the breakaway earlier, really thrusting the watts here. They've pressured it, well, drawn it down. This a surge by... They're going sprint out here. They're sprinting. It's David Gaudu that's going to launch here. This is incredible. And the advantage is just destroyed by... Yeah, Tadej Pogacar is attacking now. I think it's the bonus seconds that they're going for here. Tadej Pogacar just takes it there. So all that lead out there for nothing. But again, Jonas Vingegaard nowhere. So Tadej Pogacar takes it there. So he's leading by 14 seconds. That was the most weird lead out because it was like, you're not going to beat Tadej Pogacar, David Gaudu. There's no way he's going to beat Tadej Pogacar in a one-on-one sprint. He should have attacked early on or try and catch him out, but that was a bit strange. Jonas Vingegaard not in the bonus sprint again. And yeah, David Gaudu just, well, kind of limiting his time loss there. 14 seconds now. Could have been worse. But Jumbo-Visma, they are pulling it back here. David Gaudu, Tadej Pogacar. Yeah, looking back, they can see Jan Tratnik with Jonas Vingegaard on his wheel coming up here. 10 seconds now for Wout Poels. So Wout Poels has not enjoyed what just happened because his advantage was sliced in a third there. But in terms of our poll, 50% now for potential chance here. So I would change my vote if I could to say no. I don't think he's going to win the stage now because, yeah, but UAE Team Emirates have this firmly under control. I think it's now Felix Groschak now who's taken over the duties. So Tim Wellens is trying to come up here to do another turn. Just seeing a beautiful aerial shot of Nice. Just such a beautiful place in the world. And yeah, can we see Pogacar potentially lifting his arms when we come to the finish? That is what most people expect, but it is the village of Ez. Col d'Ez is the climb. That is, yeah, you actually go to Ez before you have to go to Monaco. Yeah, you can actually see part of Col d'Ez there as well. So it's just incredible. Col d'Ez, it is. We've seen so many battles on Col d'Ez. This stage is mythical in terms of starting in Nice, finishing in Nice. And last year it was a very wet edition, and I know that because I was there. And then seeing Simon Yates take the victory and Primoz Roglic winning overall, Wout van Aert saving him as well. And yeah, Wout van Aert has been saving a lot of these GC riders, to be honest, in ASO races. So yeah, should be interesting. But 33.7 kilometers, 10 seconds for Wout Poels now. It's not gonna happen, guys. Let's not kid ourselves. Great to have you here, Oliver. And yeah, where is the chat, guys? We're 40 people. We should be all chatting in the chat. Yeah, wherever you are in the world, do give us a shout. And who do you think's gonna win the stage? Because now I think it's very open. It could be Tadej Pogacar, to be honest. It might be Pogacar once again taking another stage victory. And yeah, UAE Team Emirates definitely not letting this go. They definitely want the top honors here. But could we potentially see another team win this? Simon Yates, is he still in there? Jonas Vingegaard, could he win it? Because it's a flat finish. We have the Col d'Ez, and I think if I was a climber, I would try and attack on Col d'Ez, but then everyone else in this group is going to be climbers now by this time. So that's what makes it interesting. We haven't got a sprinter climber in here, or however you want to call it. A Peter Sagan in the past would have loved this kind of stage. Just hang in there and then finish it off at the end. But a confirmation of the bonus seconds. Wout Poels takes 6, Tadej Pogacar takes 4, and David Gaudu takes 2. So the gain of 2 seconds there by Tadej Pogacar. So 14 seconds. I mean, 14 seconds is not a lot. Still not a lot. So yeah, it's why? Why? He definitely had more in the tank yesterday. He could have attacked harder and got a bigger gap, but maybe he just doesn't want to go too much into the red. But we'll have to wait and see. We still have... Now people are favoring Wout Poels. So now it's 53 to 43... 43 to 47%. So Wout Poels, the community has faith in you. You need to repay them. He's coming down into this very fast section now. And yeah, the Col d'Ez is the final climb of the entire stage race. Has this been a great addition? Last year was a good addition, but it's very dominant by Primoz Roglic. Primoz Roglic, who's probably going to be winning Tirreno Adriatico today as well. So Slovenians winning both races like they did last year. Just the flip side. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, it's 31 kilometers to go, 13 seconds, so he's increased it by 3 seconds here. And it should be fascinating to see if he what he can do here. Is he able to Tadej Pogacar, is he able to go on and win the Tour later this year? Is he able to win one of the monuments? I think Tadej Pogacar could be the next rider to potentially win all three monuments, but 30 kilometers to go here, 13 seconds to go, and yeah, it is a very interesting dynamic on the road right now. But UAE Team Emirates well and truly pushing on. We got Tadej Pogacar sitting on the wheel, Jonas Vingegaard. But I think it is still Tim Wellens and Felix Groschardt now who are working here, proving that they are the perfect riders for this kind of terrain, like lower mountain days. It's not they would be great for Amstel Gold or just to control fields, and like these they've really been good bringing these two in. But yeah, in UAE Team Emirates look like they're going to be getting a podium as well in Tirreno Adriatico with Joao Almeida. So yeah, not a bad week for them. But yeah, 29.1 kilometers to go. It should be very interesting to see what happens in this race. If it blows up on the Col d'Ez, we would love to see it. It's been kind of a stalemate in this race, but yeah, Tim Wellens just leading down Felix Groschardt now here. Tratnik on his wheel. No, actually, I think Jonas Vingegaard is on the UAE rider's wheel, and then we got Jan Tratnik in between the Dane and the other Slovenian, Tadej Pogacar. But we got plenty of numbers here from other teams. Groupama FDJ have a lot of riders in here. Upson de Koenig have someone in here. Ineos Grenadiers team, Jaco Ayula. Like, there's plenty of riders up here that could do something here on the Col d'Ez climb. I'd love to see it. We always love chaos in races, but UAE Team Emirates are doing a sterling job controlling it. I hope someone launches off the Col d'Ez. If not, it's going to be a bit boring, to be honest. But yeah, David Gaudu, could he potentially do something? Skeptical, to say the least. But yeah, Tirreno Adriatico is going to be a flat affair. This is probably the more exciting one of the two races today. Yesterday, Primož Roglic obviously winning and Tadej Pogacar winning. It's just incredible, these two, that they are so good at these 1 week stage races. But yeah, Joao Almeida is in second place, 18 seconds. So again, it's a close margin in the other race as well. Actually closer here than there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Joao Almeida. Well, that was the other race. But Wout Poels, it looks like he's sitting up here. Wout Poels is sitting up, so that's a shame. Wout Poels is sitting up. So so it's time for a new poll, I think, because 52% of you, unfortunately, were wrong. And it's going to be, will Tadej Pogacar win the stage? Will Tadej Pogacar win the stage? Yes or no? I'm fearing it's going to be a yes. So I'm going to vote yes on this, I think, on this occasion. But 26.6 and more weird bollards on the road. Oh my goodness. Paris-Nice. So many accidents could happen here. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah. It's very nervous situation with barriers, road furniture on the road. And I think Jonas Vingegaard is the rider who got caught out there on the other side of the barriers. But yeah, 26 kilometers still in the beautiful city of Nice is what we are on the cusp of. We have got Tim Wellens driving the pace again. Felix Groschardt and no ride out in front, so it's becoming a bit mundane in terms of what's happening on the road. They're just controlling it. No one really throwing it into. Yeah, maybe I hope Col d'Ez that someone's gonna do something, because if they just let it be a procession and then Tadej Pogacar wins it, it's a bit of a shame. But EF Education Easy Post have riders up here as well. There's plenty of riders. Cofidis have a rider. I think it's Izagirre up here. Guys, come on, do something. Let's put UAE under pressure. Don't just let them win everything. But yeah, the climb coming up soon. The Col d'Ez. Yeah, what can we say about the Col d'Ez? 6.1 kilometer at 7.6%. So, I mean, it is a harder one of the climbs today. And, yeah, 26 kilometers still in the beautiful city of Nice is what we are on the cusp of. We have got Tim Wellens driving the pace again. Felix Groschardt and no ride out in front, so it's becoming a bit mundane in terms of what's happening on the road. They're just controlling it. No one really throwing it into. Yeah, maybe I hope Col d'Ez that someone's gonna do something, because if they just let it be a procession and then Tadej Pogacar wins it, it's a bit of a shame. But UAE Education Easy Post have riders up here as well. There's plenty of riders. Cofidis have a rider. I think it's Izagirre up here. Guys, come on, do something. Let's put UAE under pressure. Don't just let them win everything. But yeah, the climb coming up soon. The Col d'Ez. yeah, can they potentially put UAE under pressure? I doubt it, but it would be good to see. Maybe Tadej Pogacar does he? Yeah, well, we know his endurance is incredible, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. Let's just say we know. Uh, yeah, great to have Heidi and Zara here as well. But yeah, it's interesting. We've got 20. Well, is it interesting? No, it's not interesting because UAE are just controlling things at the front of affairs. But we've got 24.6 kilometers. Caldes is the place we're heading towards, and will anyone really attack here? It is quite a big bunch. It's not like they're a group of five, six. There's probably 20 riders in here. But you would want to see one of these smaller teams. Like in terms of the GC, there's plenty of movement that can still happen. It's not over to say the least. And yeah, we'll wait and see what happens here. But they are pushing the pressure on at the front. Can we potentially see something happen here? That is the question. But 23.6 kilometers. I might even do Tirreno Adriatico as a stream because this is finishing so early. And then we got the final Tirreno Adriatico race. So I'll think about it because it's going to be an interesting sprint, and potentially Bini or Fabian Jakobsen can do something in the race. But 23.2 kilometers. And are we going to see anything happen here? It's just now nothing's happening because yeah, nothing's happening. That's as simple as it is. Nothing is happening right now because it's just being controlled here. None of the riders are choosing to put them under pressure. 205 here for Israel Premier Tech is in here. Who's that at the back end of the bunch? Nick Schultz. So I mean, Nick Schultz is in the group. That just shows you the pressure isn't too high. That is probably a bit mean on him, but yeah, they're gonna be Caldes now. It is coming. So U80 members are gonna be leading them into the final climb of the race of Paris-Nice. And this is gonna be a very interesting finish to the race, potentially. But is it a glorious day in Nice? Not really what I can say in the UK, but 45 kilometers an hour here. Really just every single bit that they've got left. Oliver Nassen moving up as hell. He's still here as well after he was in the breakaway early on. But who is it that Absen de Koenig have? I'm not quite sure here. Sankar Andersen? Could he be up here? I mean, if he's up here, that would be an incredible ride. But is Olean Pantre going to try and do something here? Remember, we've had no French rider on the podium since 2014. We've had no Danish podium finisher ever in Paris-Nice. But Tadej Pogacar, he's going to become the second ever, we assume, Slovenian to win Paris-Nice. But never say never here. Slovenians and winning here. Primoz Roglic can tell you all about that. But yeah, there we go. Tim Wellens flicks the elbow. That's the final time Simon Yates won this stage last year. And can he potentially do something here on Caldes? So strong here, but Felix Groschartner is now really opening up the what should we say, the valve, he's just going to show everything, try and grind everyone to dust. Jan Tratnik going out the back, Oliver Nassen going out the back here. Remember, it's 6.1 kilometers, so there's plenty of room for damage to happen here, but Jan Tratnik going out the back, and yeah, this group is going to be probably halved in size quite quickly because they are going to be struggling here to keep up with the pace being put on by Felix Grosjean at 20.9 kilometers. But Tratnik at the back. Tratnik, so Jonas Vingegaard is back down to 0 teammates. And yeah, Bahrain, Wout Poels is now the next rider to get dropped. So unfortunately, he couldn't keep it all the way to the finish. And yeah, this ferocious pace is just splitting up the group now. Plenty of riders struggling at the back here. And yeah, a fan riding next to the riders here as well, so not even able to keep up here. But now there's a bit of a split here. Groschartner, Vingegaard, Gaudu, Pogacar. Are we gonna see anything? 16% is the hardest section here. Oh, we're gonna see Kung at the back as well now. So this is the binding point. This is where it gets interesting. Are we gonna see something really get torn up here? Groschat now looks back. He sees the group is halved. Romain Bardet still in there as well. The French darlings are in this group, but 183 from Intermarché getting dropped. So that's Copenhagen's the early winner of the Mallorca challenges. Egan, well, not an Egan Bernal, an Ineos Grenadiers rider going out the back as well. David Del Cruz is at the back. Everyone just scrambling to try and hold on to something here, and UAE not giving them any room to hold on to anything. So yeah, we're seeing carnage. So Clément Champusson, who was in the breakaway earlier, he's out the back as well. Felix Groschat now just so tidy climber here, just putting the pressure on the Austrian champion. And Austria, yeah, incredible country, and had the Innsbruck World Championships a few years ago. And they have a few riders here and there. 66 going out the back here as well for Groupama FDJ. So many riders. Rudy Mollard. They were so strong in terms of riders up here. But yeah, 91 going out the back as well. I think that's Aurélien Parrain-Pantre. Yeah, he's out the back here as well, or struggling at least. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep up with this pace. 5.3 kilometers to the top of the climb. How long will Groschat be able to keep this pace on? Tadej Pogacar looks under no pressure whatsoever. He's just riding steady. It's nothing challenging him right now. Jonas Vingegaard on his wheel, David Gaudu on Jonas Vingegaard's wheel, and then Romain Bardet on David Gaudu's wheel. Matteo Jorgensen in the white jersey that he's holding on behalf of Tadej Pogacar is also visible. So the movie style rider could potentially do a good result here as well. We've had American success here in the past. Oh, it was Søren Kragh Andersen. I was right. The Alpecin de Koenig rider getting distance now is Søren Kragh Andersen. So, I mean, that's a good indication of his form. His first year with the team as well. Søren Kragh Andersen, very strong rider. But, like, Danes here, they're everywhere. They're just everywhere. And I say that as a Dane as well. So you got a Dane here commentating to you right now. So can't get rid of the Danes. But this group has definitely... it's not been halved in size. I think we're still like 15 riders in this group. EF Education Easy Post have a representative up there as well. I think it might be Nielsen Paulus. But Groschat, I think he's very close to the finish in terms of popping here. Yeah, I think this is the steepest section of the climb that they're going into. Jonas Vingegaard out of the saddle. Yeah. Where is Simon Yates? Oh, we see Simon Yates. He's almost on the wheel of Matteo Jorgensen. We also have, I think, Jack Haig in here. Is it Jack Haig or am I just... Yeah, Jack Haig. But 4.6 kilometers, 19.4. So it could be very interesting to see if this is going to be it. But yeah, Groschat are really pushing on here. Yeah, Lucas Hamilton also in here as well. Yeah. But yeah, 19.3 kilometers, 4.4 kilometers still to the top of the Col d'Aise. And UAE Mariners just putting on the pressure. They're trying to keep everything pretty solid, if you will. And yeah, it is such an iconic climb, this Paris-Nice Col d'Aise. It's the two... There is no more iconic duo in terms of when you mention Paris. Oh, here we go. Simon Yates. He won it last year. He put Primož Roglič under pressure. Is he going to be able to put the other Slovenian under pressure here? This acceleration, yeah, Groschat now at the back now. Groschat now really just sterling effort here from him. And yeah, one of the signings of the season together with Tim Wellens. But Tadej Pogacar is awake. And yeah, Bright is just struggling to keep up with the pace of Simon Yates here. Simon Yates needs to do something. He's not going to get on the podium unless he does something here. And Jonas Vingegaard and David Gaudu and Tadej Pogacar are the ones in his way. But it doesn't look like he's going to be dropping anyone. It's an 8-man group now, split into 2. And the heads of state are really now in the presence here of everyone. But it looks like the second 4-man group aren't going to be able to follow. They aren't going to be able to follow this pace being put on by Simon Yates. Simon Yates, then Tadej Pogacar, then Jonas Vingegaard and David Gaudu. David Gaudu has been climbing incredibly. But Haig at the back here. So, yeah, Haig at the back. So, any Australian fans, it's not going to be your day. And, yeah, Tadej Pogacar now attacking. Tadej Pogacar attacking. No one responding. Tadej Pogacar attacking now. Tadej Pogacar attacking. So, it could be another victory for Tadej Pogacar here. The green jersey winner, the white jersey winner, the overall winner of this year's edition of Paris-Nice, just cementing his incredible form on everyone else. And yeah, what more can you say that we haven't said already? And Tadej Pogacar is just riding away, looking behind. No one's really responding to this. 3.8 kilometers. And yeah, this is no one able to reply to this. They're all kind of content with where they are in GC. Yeah, he's flying up this climb now. Vingegaard is in difficulty. David Gaudu. We've got Matteo Jorgensen trying to take up the chase here, but Tadej Pogacar, he's got 10 seconds already. It's quite fascinating to see, but yeah, 3.7 kilometers to the top of the climb, so looks like Tadej Pogacar is going to be taking a huge lead into the finish. David Gaudu is the one who's now trying to chase, but if they're all kind of in the red, this is going to be very hard to do. Yeah, David Gaudu is the one trying to respond to this. 3.6 kilometers, 12 seconds of an advantage already in the space of a few hundred meters. So yeah, this is everyone looking around. Jonas Vingegaard doesn't want to do any work. He's content with his third place. He knows the danger man for him is Simon Yates. David Gaudu, number 2, is on the road now. And then we've got number 1, Tadej Pogacar, up the road as well. So 3.5 kilometers, 18.3 kilometers until we get to the finishing line in Nice. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar just, once again, riding away from everyone. And he's just showing that he's a class above everyone else right now. Yeah, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, incredible form. Romain Bardet struggling at the back as well. Nelson Poile struggling as well. Everyone in the red, but Tadej Pogacar riding away from everyone like it's just a normal Sunday ride. So yeah, the greatness of this man can't be understated. And Wout Poels, I think, is with Jack Haig right now, trying to limit the losses. Romain Bardet struggling as well, but so isolated. No team DSM riders anywhere. But Tadej Pogacar looks around, 20 seconds down to David Gaudu. So yeah, David Gaudu is being clawed back here by Matteo Jorgensen of all people. So I mean, that is quite extraordinary. By a ride by the American, really coming of age, of some leading both Jonas Vingegaard and Simon Yates up this climb of the Col d'Air. Still 3 kilometers to go here for Tadej Pogacar. So yeah, fantastic ride from him right now. Just absolutely just riding away like, yeah, it's crazy. Yellow jersey. He's comfortable in that yellow jersey. This is going to be the first ASO stage race that he's won outside of the Tour de France, because he's never won the Criterium de Dauphiné. He's never won Paris-Nice. I mean, French ones. I know there's other ones. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jonas Vingegaard is pushing on here. And yeah, it's pretty settled now. We could just finish the stage here now. Tadej Pogacar winning, and the classification is pretty similar as well. 23 seconds now for David Gaudu, so he's doubled his advantage in the GC almost, just on this Col d'Air's climb. And David Gaudu wanting to be the first Frenchman since who do we say finished second? Sandy Cassar back in 2002, so 21 years, 22 years. 21 years. But Vingegaard, Yates, Gaudu has been brought back as well. So yeah, that group, yeah, it's interesting. And are they going to bring back this man? I highly doubt it now, but 2.2 kilometers to go, and it is still interesting to see what is going to happen here. 89% of you believe it is going to be his victory, and I think you're all correct now. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be taking that away from him. It looks like he's going to be winning yet another stage of Paris-Nice. Just such an incredible rider. The ferocity, the pace, the the capability of this man. But I mean, take nothing away from his UAE Team Emirates teammates. They've really shown a good performance here as well, being able to control affairs, putting everyone under pressure, and yeah, it's good to see from them. But 14.7 kilometers according to Pro Cycling Stats. So I think our broadcast is a bit behind. 1.9 kilometers to the top of the climb for Tadej Pogacar. He's going to take another victory. He's been so successful this year, really come out of the blocks. And if he wins this, which he will, he's won more days than he hasn't. So I think that's quite a unique stat. Yeah. Won the gravel race in Spain, winning stage 1, stage 2 of the Andalusia, and then winning stage 4, winning the overall of that race, so now went 5, then winning stage 4 on Paris-Nice, stage 7, stage 8, and Paris-Nice. So he's going to be on 9 victories by the end of this, and 55 career wins. Actually, he has a brother. I didn't realize. Does his brother race? No, older brother who did a few races apparently back last year. But yeah, that Paris-Nice is wrapping itself up. 16 kilometers left of the 2023 edition. 1.3 kilometers left of this Col d'Ez climb. 34 seconds down to the chasing group from Tadej Pogacar. And Tadej Pogacar just putting on an incredible show here, just distancing the other riders. No one can respond. No one can do anything against him. And I mean, what more can we say that hasn't already been said? It's just copy paste from all the other races that he's done this year. No one really able to follow his strength, his pace, everything. It's just yeah, is he the greatest of all time? Well, we can't really put him in the same bracket as Eddie Merckx yet, but I mean, he's still on the road to be the greatest ever rider in this generation for sure. I mean, what I like about Tadej Pogacar is, yes, he's very strong, and we know that, but we've seen many other riders who've been very strong in the past. Chris Froome, his dominant era, but he never really, Chris Froome never did, or a Contador, they never did what Pogacar does. Show up at Strada, show up at the Ronde van Vlaanderen. This is more like a Bernard Hinault, like a Eddie Merckx, that kind of racing, which I think is so. I really admire him for that he is such a racer, that he races any terrain. It's not just turn up to the Tour and then win that and then copy paste, do that every single year. But we're seeing a bit of movement here as well. Bardet is really struggling here. So is Jack Haig. They're both struggling. So look away, Romain Bardet fans. But Tadej Pogacar is coming up to the top of the climb now. So he takes the Masters Jersey points. He's not going to win the Masters Jersey. That is going to be won by one Jonas Gregor, who I think is going to be the first ever Dane to win that jersey. 42 seconds of an advantage down to the David Gaudu group. He's got a nice descent. So, I mean, he's going to win the stage now. Let's be honest. That pole is not relevant anymore. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. We're on 23. And I'm not even sure I've hit the like button. But it's Paris-Nice 2023. Beautiful weather. It's going to be what it is what it is. Tadej Pogacar is going to win another stage, third stage of this race. And he's going to be on the same average that he is on the Tour de France, 3 stages in every edition. So maybe he's going to return to Paris-Nice next year. 1 Tirreno Adriatico last year, 1 Tirreno Adriatico the year before. And should be very fascinating to say. What are we saying? Or Armstrong, he will only visible in the Tour de France and the World Championships. Yeah, that's true. Armstrong had the same. I think Armstrong was kind of the first rider almost who had this laser light focus on the Tour. Miguel Indurain as well. But he did the Giro and Tour double a few years. But Tadej Pogacar at the front, 48 seconds. He's just putting. I mean, this is great preparation for the classic seasons. Remember, like we were talking about riders preparing for the classic season. Tadej Pogacar is preparing for the classic season as well. He's got a. Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating if he can keep this up. It's such a formidable performance here, but we also said the correlation between winners of Paris-Nice and Tour de France is not great. So that is just it's putting in perspective how rarely this achievement actually happened, winning the Tour and the Paris-Nice. It's not a common occurrence, and I think Egan Bernal winning it in 2019, Paris-Nice and the Tour, that was, I'm firmly believe it's great that Egan Bernal won it because first ever Colombian and the Colombian fans are amazing, but I thought Thibaut Pinot should have won that edition. There was also the mudslide, etc. But Thibaut Pinot was the strongest rider, so if that had happened, then Egan Bernal wouldn't have won the Paris-Nice Tour de France double. Bradley Wiggins was a bit different. It felt like the Tour didn't really have too much competition against him. They had a young Nibali. They had Cadel Evans, who was on the way out anyway. And they just had the strongest team. They just bullied everyone, destroyed them. So Froome was the biggest competition for Wiggins, and that was his own teammate. But that's completely, well, probably make a video about that at some point. But 12.9 kilometers, 52 seconds down to the Gaudu group with Vingegaard on that. It's over, like completely over. That advantage of 12 seconds that he had at the beginning has absolutely just increased so much since then on this stage. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar, it's incredible that he is so strong, but can he keep it all the way to the July? That is the other thing. They have got a lot of they have the best coaches, nutritionists, etc., to kind of manage the peaks and troughs of the riders. But the worrying part is that Tadej Pogacar is now a fully fledged classics rider. He's gonna his schedule is many races in terms of the period where Jonas Vingegaard is not going to be doing so many races. Yeah, if we say Milan-San Remo, E3 Haalbeker, Dwars-Vlaanderen, Ronde van Vlaanderen, Amstel Gold, Flèche Wallonne, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. So that's 7 races, but then he's got a huge gap until he starts the Tour of Slovenia. So, I mean, that's what I mean. It's not like he's doing the Giro as well. So, who knows? But I'm pretty sure if any rider can do it, it's Tadej Pogacar. Imagine if he wins Flèche Wallonne, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and then wins the Tour de France. Oh, it would be an incredible season, an Eddie Merckx-esque season. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar is just controlling his way down this descent, and 52 seconds. It's all over. It's all over. Dominant Tadej Pogacar once again. We've seen it so many times this year. It's going to be 9 victories by the time he wins the overall as well this year. Just absolutely class act of a rider. And yeah, I don't know. He's actually as tall as me. That's quite funny. But 11 kilometers, that's all that we've got left of this year's Paris-Nice 2023. Are we going to see any changes really in the top 10? I think it's quite a stalemate. I'm not sure we're going to see any movements in terms of the top 10. Nilson Parler is obviously moving up a bit. We saw that. But yeah, it's going to be fighting for second in the second group. And yeah, that should probably be the poll. Who's going to finish second in this group? Or who's going to finish second in the group at all? But yeah, I mean, I could do the Tirreno Adriatico stream as well, because yeah, I don't know why the Tour de France they started, the Paris-Nice started so early. But yeah, here we are. 10 kilometers to go here. and it's gonna be, yeah. It is what it is now, isn't it? 10 kilometers. It's a victory lap now. Victory procession. It's the finish of Paris-Nice. There's a very quiet way. We've seen this stage be so dramatic in the past. Alberto Contador finishing second here with Sergio now winning. That was one of the best stages I've ever seen in a race. But this is not, let's be honest. Nothing's happening. It's very set in its very way. The level of riders were a lot closer back then. I think Tadej Pogacar is just very close to 100% right now, whereas many of these riders will not be. They're all using this as kind of a tune-up or whatever. They might be like 60, 70, 80%, but yeah, yeah. Like, why would Jonas Vingegaard be at 100% right now? He doesn't care about Paris-Nice in that respect. Like, he wants to do well, but it's not like, yeah, his next race is the Tour of the Basque Country, and then is the Criterium de Dauphiné. So it's kind of like, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much we can draw from this. We don't know power data. We don't know if, like, the form as well. Like, only they know, the coaches. There's so many unknown variables that is frustrating that we don't know. I feel like Formula One fans, they know more about the Formula One cars than we know about the riders, which is yeah, something that they could improve on, but who knows really if they're gonna ever improve on that. Cycling is a very conservative sport in some things, but 8 kilometers to go, 48 seconds for the David Gaudu group. Who's going to finish second in that group? Gino Mada is in the third group, 1 minute and 10 seconds down on Tadej Pogacar. But I mean, Tadej Pogacar he could take in the views here. He lives in Monaco as well, so it's just a ride home. He's just riding to Nice, and then he can catch the train to Monaco. So yeah, pretty easy. And yeah, he's just taking it very, very easy. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is right now. But 7.3 kilometers, he's just tucking in, and beautiful day in Nice. And yeah, Tadej Pogacar's next goal is going to be the Milan San Remo, which is next week. That's going to be a very fascinating race. So many things can happen in that race, of course, as we know. So many variables, so many different ways of winning it. But yeah, 6.8 kilometers now. 6.8. That's all that we got left of this race. Yeah, Tadej Pogacar. Does this make him okay? I think we will have a new poll here. Let's say, do you think he's gonna win Milan San Remo? Will Pog win Milan San Remo 2023? Boom, there we go. Yeah, 6.2 kilometers, 47 seconds still, and a new poll, so we can all get involved in the new poll. Do I think he's going to win? That is a good question. I'm going to say no. So I've said no. So yeah, I'm being devil's advocate. I don't think he's going to win it. It would be amazing if he did. That would add an extra layer to his legend. And yeah, 5.7 kilometers now, 44 seconds. Still, these strange bollards that could be very dangerous, as we always see here on this stage. But Jonas Vingegaard on the wheel of Simon Yates, and David Gaudu on his wheel. And then we got Nilsson Paulus. Very fast here, the pace here by these guys. But yeah, 86% of you have been right. I mean, some of you might have been right with every single poll that we've had. We've had 3 polls already. Will Tadej Pogacar win the Paris-Nice overall? Probably a lot of people got that right. Will Wout Poels win the stage? 47% of you have said no. So a lot of you might have said that right as well. And then will Tadej Pogacar win the stage? So some of you will just be completely right with every single poll here. And you might get 100% on the next one as well. 62% think it's going to be a victory for Tadej Pogacar in a week's time in San Remo, or actually 6 days. And yeah, we will see what happens here. If Tadej Pogacar can carry this form into Milan San Remo. But yeah, we'll wait and see. we will wait and see. 4.5 kilometers to the finish. 44 seconds is all that we've got. Well, that's the huge gap we've got. Remember, it was 12 seconds coming into the stage, and then we had 14. He won the time bonuses, or he finished second, extending his advantage to David Gaudu. But I think everyone's kind of content with where they are in the GC. No one's really too bothered of moving up, it seems. Well, the riders who couldn't hang on, obviously. But, I mean, if you're in the second group, no one's going to attack here. No one's going to attack here in this group, I think. But Simon Yates, he is one of the riders who could potentially move on to the podium if he catches out Jonas Vingegaard. He would deny Denmark of a first ever podium place, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, is he able to? What is the gap between these two? But I mean, this race, it's a glorious day. It's beautiful, but it hasn't really been too exciting because it's been very formulaic. Yeah, there's always the potential of dramatic changes here, but yeah, very nullified by UAE Team Emirates, to be honest. Good control by their team. They really showed that they are a step above where they have been in the past, and yeah, no one can really do anything about them. But in terms of Simon Yates and no, it's not gonna happen. Let's be honest. But Nilsen Paulus. Oh wait, Romain Bardet. No, I think Nilsen Paulus might actually move into 5th place because Gino Meder is 18 seconds down, and there's 20 seconds between these two riders. So he's still, well, actually, it's hovering around the 20 seconds now. So we could see Gino Meder move down into 6th place and Nilsen Paulus move into 5th place. So that would be a good result from the American. Yeah, so yeah, this should be exciting. And yeah, we'll see. We're in Milan San Remo. 1.8 kilometers. He's down. He's down from the descent now, coming in towards the finish. 1.7 kilometers of celebrating in the sunshine, soaking in the glory, knowing that he's going to be the second ever Slovenian to win this. And just incredible victory. He's going to have one more victories today or this season than he hasn't. So it's just incredible, to say the least. Actually, I recognize this part of Nice, surprisingly. The old port of Nice. Nice is so beautiful. Like, go there, wherever you are in the world, America, etc., Eritrea, go to Nice. It's breathtaking, I must admit. But yeah, 1.2 kilometers, so many people on the side of the roads. This is what the organizers want. They want the champion to soak in the glory as they come into Nice. Paris-Nice, not actually starting in Paris, but we'll gloss over that. Paris-Roubaix, I'm also looking at you. You don't start in Paris. But yeah, he's just soaking in everything. He's thinking that mission complete. This has been absolutely a sterling race for UAE Team Emirates. He's won 3 stages. Oh, this will be the 3rd stage. They showcased how strong of a team they are. They've shown Jumbo-Visma, we are here. You can't deal with us, whatever. And yeah, they'll take a huge plaudit for this, and he's going to be very, very confident in terms of Milan San Remo next year. But yeah, UAE Team Emirates, they're going to be very happy. Another stage victory here. We've spoken about Jumbo-Visma, such a strong team, but I think here UAE Team Emirates have also shown that they are very, very strong team, and no one can really handle them. They haven't even got Rafa Majka in here or Brendan McNulty. Joao Almeida is busy finishing on the podium today as well. But here we go. Tadej Pogacar lifts his hands up in celebration. 1 year since we saw Simon Yates do exactly the same. But today it is a Slovenian winning, and it is a Slovenian winning the overall 3rd stage in the stage race. And you can't, winning the points classification, winning winning the young riders classification, taking a bow as well. And the riders behind, they're trying to chase him down here for the minor places. Gino Meder is trying to desperately, he knows that his 5th place is under threat here. So right now it's Gino Meder versus versus Matteo Jorgensen. The 5th place is up for grabs. I don't think he's going to get it. I think it's going to go the Swiss way. But Jonas Vingegaard is desperately trying to get 2nd place here. David Gaudu challenging him for the 2nd place. But yeah, Jonas Vingegaard gets the 2nd place on the stage. And we get out our stopwatches. I don't think it's going to be a 5th place for him. Who was that? Nilson Paulos, Gino Meder. So we are going to have the top 10 confirmed as well. But Jonas Vingegaard just shaking hands with Tadej Pogacar, David Gaudu, the top 3 there. They're going to be on the podium later on. And yeah, I'm going to take the same drink as Tadej Pogacar took there. San Pellegrino. Yeah, Paris-Nice concludes for another year. Another Slovenian winner. And yeah, what an emphatic edition of it that it was for Tadej Pogacar and any Slovenian fans and Tadej Pogacar fans as well. Jonas Vingegaard didn't quite have it. David Gaudu becomes the first second place French 2nd place finisher since Sandy Cassar back in 2002. Jonas Vingegaard becomes the first ever Dane to finish on the Paris-Nice podium. So plenty of records being set, and Tadej Pogacar is the first ever winner for UAE Team Emirates / Lampre in this race as well. So lots of records happening, and yeah, that has been quite interesting. That it's been quite a historic edition of the race. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted to do Tirreno Adriatico because this was but different stream, obviously. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar, is he the greatest right now? We don't really know. He's so all-round. He's competing with Mathieu van der Poel. He's competing with Jonas Vingegaard. So many different... He's all omnipresent in the sport of cycling. And I'm pretty sure Wout van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel were a bit worried when they saw that he was taking part in a cyclocross race last year as well. So, yeah. So, that has been basically it. That has been Paris-Nice 2023. Jonas Vingegaard finishing 2nd in the sprint behind. David Gaudu 3rd, 2nd in the GC, obviously. Simon Yates 4th. And then we have Matteo Jorgensen in 6th, but Gino Meder in 5th. So it's been interesting, to say the least, how the classification has unfolded. Jonas Vingegaard definitely not looking that strong with his teammates. But yeah, the riders just coming into the finishing. Danny Martinez definitely didn't like this year's edition. He did so well last year, but yeah, this year not great. One of the weaker one week stage races from Danny Martinez, who's been up there and really showing himself. But yeah, classification 33 seconds ahead of Vingegaard was Tadej Pogacar. Haig finishing 9th. 79% of you think it is going to be Tadej Pogacar who takes the victory in Milan-San Remo. But yeah, that is basically it for Paris-Nice 2023. Thanks every single one of you for joining me, and Ewan when he was here as well. But yeah, I might try and do Tirreno Adriatico in a bit. I'll just see how. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, definitely we've got the Echelon coming out tomorrow, so look out for that as well. There's a challenge video as well coming out on the Cycling Dane main channel. The gaming channel, I think, also has a video coming out. So plenty of things coming out on the different channels. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to every single one of them. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.